Welcome to The Explainer. So, you're thinking about getting an agricultural drone. You already know it's a huge decision. Today, we're going to cut through all the noise and build the ultimate buyer's guide for you. We're using the hard-won lessons from the experts in the field at Sri Vigneshwara Drones, so you can make a smart investment. And this is really the question that matters, isn't it? An ag drone could totally change the game for your farm, or it could end up being a very expensive piece of equipment just collecting dust. Let's figure out how to make sure you land on the right side of that equation. The drone market is pretty crowded, and honestly, it can be confusing. You've got everything from these small 10-liter sprayers all the way up to massive 30-liter machines. Our mission here is simple. We're going to be your guide through this whole complex world. What makes our source material so valuable is where it comes from. See, Sri Vigneshwara drones didn't just start in some fancy showroom. They started out in the fields as spraying operators themselves. For more than a year, they were the ones flying these machines day in and day out. They know what works, what breaks, and what a farmer really needs. Okay, let's get into the hardware. We're going to break down the most common models that you'll see out there, starting with the one that really kicked this whole thing off. So this is the X6 Hexa. You can think of it as the original workhorse. It's the model that's been on the market since the very beginning, and it's the perfect place for us to start. So for around 2.5 lakh rupees, you're getting a really solid entry-level machine. Its 10-liter tank is a great starting size, and the 6-motor design, that's why it's called a hexacopter, gives it extra stability. It's kind of like a safety net if one motor has an issue. You can expect to cover about 2 acres before you need to land and swap the batteries. It's a reliable, proven starting point. Next up, we've got an evolution of that idea, the X8 Quad. Now, the philosophy here is a little different. It's all about doing more with less, just by using more powerful parts. And here's where you really see that new engineering payoff. By switching to 4 bigger, more powerful X8 motors, the drone just becomes way more efficient. And that efficiency, plus a bigger battery, lets you spray a full 3 tanks on a single charge. What does that mean for you? It means more time flying and a lot less time stuck on the ground. All right, now let's talk about the model that our source calls the gold standard. This is the one they say is the most reliable, the most successful drone for anyone who's serious about starting a commercial spraying business. This is the X8 Hexa, and it really brings together the best of both worlds. You get the power and stability of 6 of those strong X8 motors, but you also get a bigger 16-liter tank. For a spraying business, this is the sweet spot. It carries more, it's super stable, and it's built with tech that's been proven in the field, time and time again. And hey, you don't have to just take my word for it. The experts, the people who sell, service, and used to fly these drones every day, are crystal clear. The X8 Hexa is the one with the best track record for success out there in the real world. Now, this next point is absolutely crucial, and it's something you might not even think about: the frame of the drone. Our source compares the common EFT frames to a Mahindra or a Swaraj tractor. If something breaks, you can find spare parts anywhere, and it's easy to fix. But these new, sleeker frames, yeah, they might look cool, but if a part breaks, you could be stuck waiting for weeks, losing precious time and money. A drone is pretty useless without its power source, right? The type of battery you choose has a direct impact on your workflow and, of course, your bottom line. So, let's break it down. So here's the trade-off. Standard batteries are cheaper when you buy them, but they take about 35 minutes to charge. Smart batteries, on the other hand, cost more upfront, but they charge in just 20 minutes. Now, for a commercial operator, that 15-minute difference per cycle adds up fast. It means more time in the air and less time just waiting around. All right, let's talk about the dark side for a minute. Because making the wrong choice here isn't just a small problem, it can be a really devastating financial mistake. Just look at this number, 50%. This represents the immediate financial hit you will take if you buy the wrong drone and have to try and sell it. And that's the stark reality. A drone is not like a tractor. It loses about half its value almost instantly. There is simply no room for error when you're buying one of these. You have to get it right the first time. And this is a heartbreaking but really common story that the experts hear. People get tempted by flashy new models or unrealistic promises. They spend a huge amount of money, and they're left with a machine that just doesn't work for them, with no support and no way to get their investment back. So let's run through the most common traps. Buyers get stranded with a brand new model because they can't get spare parts. Or they buy a drone that's just too big and impractical for their land. A huge mistake is not confirming that local service is available before you buy. And finally, please be skeptical of those crazy promises. our source is clear that the real-world maximum is 2 to 3 tanks per charge, not 5 or 6.
Okay, so after all of those warnings, how do you actually succeed? Well, it all comes down to one simple question you have to ask yourself before you do anything else.
Are you buying this for your own farm, or are you planning to run a spraying business? See, for your own land, a bigger, more specialized drone might make sense. You know the terrain and a little downtime isn't the end of the world. But for a business, reliability is everything. You need that X8 Hexatractor, a machine that's easy to move, easy to fix, and is always ready to work.
So here it is. This is your 4-step plan for a successful purchase. Don't even talk to a salesperson until you've gone through this list. First, define your exact purpose. Second, verify that you can get local service. Third, confirm that spare parts are easy to find. And finally, and this might be the most important step of all, talk to other farmers who already own these machines. Get their honest, real-world feedback. So is a drone the key to your farm's future? You know, with the right research, it absolutely can be. But without that research, it's just an expensive mistake waiting to happen. The choice between a powerful tool and a costly burden really comes down to the homework you do before you buy. Thanks for joining us on The Explainer.